So if we can really accept and begin to ultimately realize I am spirit soul, then I'm going to understand why the external won't make me happy. And I start redirecting my focus, you see. I start understanding, well, there's no need to spend my whole life pursuing that mirage because there's no water there. I mean, yeah, I can do it, and I'll get some, a little bit here and there of something, but it's not going to help me, the spirit soul, see. I start looking at what's going to make myself, me, the spirit soul, satisfied. Satisfaction is such an elusive thing, right? The famous musical group Rolling Stones, amazingly enough, they're still out there rolling around. 75, 76-year-old guys now, rolling around. But what are they finding? The same thing they found back in the 70s. I can't get no satisfaction. I tried and I tried and I tried, but I can't get no, So they realized it a long time ago, see. And I don't know what they're doing now, but probably same song, you see. I ain't got it yet, but I'm not dead yet, so there's still a chance. No, a wise person goes to higher sources of information. See, that's what we want to do. We want to trade ignorance for knowledge. See, we want to trade a higher taste for a lower taste. I mean, that's the whole goal, right? If there's more pleasure here than here, why do this when this is better? So we've all adjusted our life many times to be situated in a higher level of pleasure, see? And then if I experience something beyond that, then I go there, and it's normal. I mean, that's what everybody does. And so when you become a little wise to your identity, you start seeking pleasure from a spiritual source, because that's where the pleasure really is. For me, the spirit soul, see? No matter how much joy I bring to the body, it doesn't touch me at all. It's just an illusion of pleasure. I'm happy because my body's happy or my mind is happy. That's just an illusion. The soul is never really happy. That's why it doesn't really solve the problem, So that's the teaching of yoga. See, the Vedic scripture, they explain all these things to us. We read it, we understand it, we hear it, we follow the great masters who, tell us this is the real story here. And then we change our focus, perhaps. In other words, it's available. We can change our focus to start addressing my spiritual needs, see? Then I am not dependent on the external for happiness in any way, you see? I'm not dependent on it. I have another source of happiness. See, if we're happy inside, the outside is good enough. Whatever it is, it's good enough because I'm already happy. See, I mean, even in our material consciousness, some of us have experienced that, right? If we're really happy inside, maybe with a loving relationship with someone, it's at the stage where it's really, really enjoyable. It's fulfilling, it's satisfying, it's just, my life. Then whatever's happening outside is good enough. I can deal with it. I deal with it as I need to, because inside, it's a bright, sunny day. Outside it can be cold, harsh, windy. I'm dealing with so many unpleasant people or whatever, but that's all right, because inside I'm all warm and snug and happy in my relationship. And that's when life is on a higher level. It's better. It's a better life. You see. So that's what we're talking about on the true, not temporary material relationship level, but on the true spiritual relationship level. I, the spirit soul, am hungry, see, and I'm always looking for food, but spiritual food, see. Material food doesn't satisfy. I remember I read about this restaurant in China. It wasn't a restaurant. It was actually a production company making one very popular Chinese dish. It's not a dish. It's like a little roll. And it's basically dough with some filling inside. In Hawaii, they call it manapua. They call it dim sum in Chinese or whatever. But anyway, it's very popular, and people just grab it and eat it as for lunch on the street or whatever. And it's a steamed bun. They steam it, and so it's all soft and, it doesn't matter so much about the detail. But anyway, they caught this one company making these things and producing thousands and thousands of them. And they were making them basically out of cardboard. And they'd take cardboard and they'd put it in an acid water mix and they'd melt this stuff down and then they'd stir this slurry up and then they'd, make these rolls, this dim sum out of it, and put the flavorings in and everything so it tasted really good. And they'd sell it to people. So people are eating cardboard, And that's kind of like what we're doing. We're eating cardboard, but there's no nutrition there. It can't really nourish us, the spirit soul. And so that's why I can eat and eat and eat and eat, and I'm full, but I'm still empty. You eat and eat, but there's no real fulfillment inside. So we're eating and eating 24 hours a day and still empty, and that's really frustrating, and that's a deep source of anxiety, you see. What is wrong? What is it that's not working? Because I'm the spirit soul, and it will never work. It's never going to be different than that. It can't be different, see. So I, the spirit soul, need spiritual food. Food that will nourish me spiritually. Transcendental sound is such a food, see. It comes from the spiritual realm. It is laden with spiritual nourishment for me, the spirit soul. It comes to us like in these mantras. I can chant these mantras. They actually are addressing my needs, the spirit soul's needs. See, we may not be able to perceive that right away. It may take some time. It looks just like another noise, another sound. If we put music to it, it's just another melodious sound. See, but we can't see that it's spiritual. So when we start entering into the spiritual dimension, the spiritual philosophies, the spiritual way of life, we cannot prove everything. You can't take it into the laboratory and analyze it. They can't analyze the mantra Gauranga and come up with scientific proof that it's transcendental sound. They can't do it. It's beyond the perception of the senses. It's inconceivable to the material mind and senses, you see.